Well, it was an entertaining game yesterday. I mean, it was short on quality in certain areas, especially in both defences, Perry.
Is that why you had a big smile on your face? It was
entertaining. It was just brilliant to watch.
The reason, I think there's different reasons why both defences were poor yesterday. With Arsenal's defence, obviously you've got Kieran Tierney who's out, you've got Tomiyasu who's out. So when they have their first choice back four, Arsenal have looked pretty solid. So Tavares we'll talk about in a minute. Cedric's sort of steady, but he doesn't give you anything going.
And
really,
Tomiyasu coming back off the bench late on in the game is a massive plus going into the final few weeks of the season.
Exactly, yeah. So that makes it... The Manchester United reason that they're so bad defensive, because to me they don't look like they've done any functional play, any shadow play, any team shape as a back four. And as a team, when they're out of possession, none of them want to track back. None of them want to defend.
There is a stark difference between the team spirit, cohesion, and the unity between the two teams yesterday. And I mentioned it in commentary. There was one incident where the ball went out of play. There was an injury or something like that. So it stopped for 2 minutes in the middle of the first half. And all the Arsenal players immediately surrounded around Mikel Arteta. They're standing on the touchline, they're getting instructions, they're all together, it's a big huddle. The Manchester United players are just strewn out all over the pitch doing their own thing. And that was a perfect indication to me of the differences between the two teams. Arsenal actually are greater than the sum of their parts, especially yesterday when you mentioned the injuries and the people that are not available for them, whereas Manchester United are nowhere near the sum of their parts. They are miles off what they should be in terms of the amount that they should be getting out of the talented players that they've got.
Again, it's quite simple football. One set of players is buying into the manager and what the manager wants and is trying to implement it. You said there about, but it's not that they're not trying to defend. It's individual mistakes with Arsenal that maybe defensively look a little bit loose, right? But you'll have El Neni and Granit Xhaka with Saka on the right, and they will close down. They will track back, but they will close down in tandem with each other. You can tell that it's been worked on and how to press, when to press. Manchester United, who were good in the second half, like going forward, they were the better side, weren't they, for probably, 20,
I actually
25
thought
minutes?
There was a period either side of half-time where Manchester United were the better team. From the minute they scored their goal, in the aftermath of Arsenal going 2-0 up, to the point where they ended up conceding the Xhaka goal, they're the better team in the game. And actually, I think the whole thing hinges on the penalty miss.
I think there's three.
If they score that penalty, I think they go on and win the game, Manchester United.
Yeah, Arsenal could have completely disintegrated. There's every chance, isn't there, that you lose your heads. But with Manchester going forward, you're sort of relying on the individual quality of the players. And there's no doubt, we saw on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, there was times where the individual brilliance of the players got Manchester United out of trouble. It wasn't because there was a good team pattern or, they were pressing.
There was more of a team pattern about them under Solskjaer than there is now.
Well, that shows you how bad that they are, because Arsenal did get lucky. And what happens is, in seasons, that could be... You said Fernandes missing his penalty, right? And you see Aaron Ramsdale go, crazy at him. You think, well, you didn't really... If he'd have done something about it and out-psyched him, then great. But he didn't really do anything about it. He went the wrong way.
Ramsdale did the whole Keown, didn't he?
Yeah.
He went the full Keown.
Yeah, which is good to see because you want, the passion. But it wasn't anything to do... He didn't out-psych Fernandes. Fernandes out-psyched himself, basically.
Fernandes had a terrible, terrible day. He could have been sent off. He gave the ball away for the Xhaka goal and he missed the penalty.
But then if you look at other... sort of sliding door moments. Ronaldo had his a goal ruled out for offside, which was very, very tight, right? And then Ramsdale pulled off a brilliant save at his near post, I think from Dalot, with his left hand.
Yeah, pushed it onto the post.
So there's three instances that go in your favour, and you could look back and hopefully look back and they become pivotal in Arsenal coming in the top four. Because
to be fair to Arteta, he said exactly that to me afterwards. He said to me, we were very lucky. We were lucky. We were so lucky in that second half because there was a point where they were showing their class with the individuals that they've got, and we had to ride a little bit of fortune. And he said we got through it. And he said he started talking about believing a lot in energy, and he believes a lot in the energy of the group and of the stadium and what it all brings to the mix, and that's why he believes that they'll go on a journey and end up securing fourth place.
Just out of interest, what were the Arsenal fans like at the Emirates when Manchester United were dominating for that period? Because in the past, it could get a little bit sort of edgy and a bit tetchy and a few moans and groans.
No, I didn't really feel like that.
But that's the difference, because I was there for the Wolves game when
I was there
Arsenal
too,
scored
yeah.
in the
Late
90th, right? And the fans and the crowd stayed with, even though when they're 1-0 down, they stayed with them.
But
there
that's
wasn't
him.
the moans and groans.
And listen, I was never. I'm still remain to be completely convinced by Mikel Arteta.
But he's still learning.
He's got a lot to learn.
Yes.
But he is brilliant at communicating. He's got so much energy about him. He's obviously, whether the rights and wrongs of it and whether it's just ruthlessness, and that's not a bad quality to have when you're a manager, that he's culled that dressing room down. I've got to admit, I like what I see from him. And I think if you're on his side, or you buy into him, you'll get a lot back from him. That seems to be the way. And this is interesting. Have a listen to this, because I spoke afterwards to Nuno Tavares. And let's be completely clear, Nuno Tavares was involved in a lot. It could have gone either way for him yesterday as well. He scored his first goal for Arsenal. He gave away a penalty.
Could have given away another one.
Could have given away another penalty.
Yes.
And was on the wrong end of a Bruno Fernandes challenge. But I spoke to him after the game, and he spoke not only about the match itself, the goal and the energy, but also about how he has recovered from being dragged off after 35 minutes in an FA Cup game. Here he is.
Really good against United. My first goal at home, with this environment, with the fans, with us, was really good for me.
And what do you make of the overall performance today? Because there were moments when you had to suffer, you had to ride your luck a little bit, but ultimately putting 3 points on the board at this stage of the season can only be a massive positive.
Yeah, it's part of the game. Sometimes you need to stay back and defend our goal. Sometimes we are in the game, put pressure on United, and we were focused on start well, and then we scored 3 minutes. It was really good for us, and they get the ball and put some pressure on United was our mentality.
Talk to me about your reintegration into the team, because I was at Nottingham Forest earlier in the season when you came off after 35 minutes, but you found your way back into the team. How do you feel in terms of being back in, playing regularly, and how you reacted to that moment?
It's all about mentality and confidence. If you don't have mentality to win, you can play for Arsenal. I changed it in my mind because I get more confidence. Mikel put me more confidence in me and my teammates too. It was really good for me and my confidence.
That's impressive, isn't it? The fact that you've used a situation like that, adversity, and it's been turned around. How much do you credit the manager and his connection with the players in it being able to do that?
Really good. He speaks with us all the time. He can see how if we are sad or I feel something wrong. He try every single day put some. It's not about pressure, but how do we feel? Even if I don't play, we'll play. But it's really good. He has this connection with us.
Yeah, and obviously the Champions League and finishing in the top four is your main priority this season. Do you think now, after that victory and the victory in midweek over Chelsea, that you're favourites to do that?
I don't know. We are focused on game by game. We have 5 finals, and we need to go through with this final.
Nuno Tavares speaking to me after the game. They're a real team, aren't they? And you can tell that just from that interview.
Well, it seems like it's communication from the manager. Election, you know exactly what you want. And as you said, if you're buying into him and trying to do what he wants, because you remember Tavares got the hook against Crystal Palace at half-time as well.
Yeah.
And it could have been one of 8, to be fair. But he was brilliant to start the season. He's got to improve on his defensive qualities because he still looks like he's a little bit sloppy on that side of it. But the communication between manager and players, that's the key.